Hello my darlings, happy Wednesday. Today our learning is all about China. So our story is all about a girl called Mulan who goes to fight for the Chinese army in disguise of a boy. So here she is. Life in China was about to change. The Huns had crossed over the Great Wall of China and wanted to battle the Chinese for their land. The Huns were a group of travelling warriors. They would move from country to country and battle any army they encountered. As it turns out, they did not like the Chinese or their Great Wall. The Huns were ready to attack each village one by one. General Li of the Chinese Emperor's army rode as fast as he could to tell the Emperor that the Huns had crossed the wall. General Li knew that China was in danger. Only the Emperor would know how to save the people of China. When the Emperor heard the news, he was very concerned. It had been a long time since he had sent his men into battle. He told General Li that new armies must be assembled. Every family in China must help fight the war against the Huns. One grain of rice can tip the scales, said the Emperor. He knew that each man who fought in the war would make a difference in the end. Meanwhile, the evil Shan Yu had begun to frighten the people of China. He used violence against anyone who got in his way, and he set whole villages on fire. Shan Yu was the most powerful leader of the Huns. He did not like the Emperor of China. This is set way back in history, my loves. Look. In a small village, a young girl named Mulan was preparing to meet the town's matchmaker. The matchmaker met with the young ladies of the village to decide who was ready to be married. Everyone in Mulan's family hoped that the matchmaker would find a husband for Mulan, but Mulan needed to be refined, poised, punctual when she met the matchmaker. Unfortunately, Mulan was late. Mulan's mother and grandmother helped her get dressed. They put on her makeup and fixed her hair. Grandmother gave Mulan an apple for serenity, jade beads for beauty, a pendant for balance, and a cricket for luck. The cricket's name was Cricky. Mulan then jumped on her horse and quickly rode to the matchmaker's house. Mulan was nervous about meeting the matchmaker. She wanted to bring honour to her family. She didn't want to let her father down and shame the family name. But when she met the matchmaker, everything went wrong. Mulan had written notes on her arm so she would not forget the right things to say. But the matchmaker touched the ink and got it on her face. Then Cricky made Mulan spill the tea, and the matchmaker slipped and sat on hot coals. Mulan was blamed for everything. "She will never bring your family honour," yelled the matchmaker. Mulan and her family were very upset. Look, she's got a beard drawn on by the ink, and she is very cross. And Mulan and her family look very sad. Oh no. Back at home, Mulan talked with her father. Mulan was afraid that she would never be the perfect bride or the perfect daughter. Her father smiled and told her that she was just a late bloomer. He had hoped for his daughter. Just then a travelling messenger from the Emperor arrived with an announcement. He told of the war with the Huns and declared that one man from each family was required to help fight. Zu, Mulan's father, was the only man in the family. He would have to go. Mulan was upset. Zu had been a hero in the last Chinese war where he injured his leg. That night Mulan snuck out of bed. She took her father's armour and sword and cut her hair so that she could look like a boy. She leapt on her horse, Khan, and rode off to fight in her father's place. She could not bear to think of her injured father in the war. When Mulan got to the training camp, she had trouble making friends. She tried to act like a man, but her awkward behaviour caused problems. She was so clumsy that even Captain Li Shang could not believe his eyes. After weeks of practice, Mulan learned to be a good soldier. She had some help from Cricky and Mushu. Mushu was the tiny dragon sent by Mulan's ancestors to help and protect Mulan. He vowed to help make Mulan into an honourable soldier. The time came for Mulan's troops to head into battle. As they rode towards the front line, they were saddened to see the villages that the Huns had burned. So many people were gone because of Shan Yu and the evil Hun army. Over a snowy mountain top, Mulan and the other soldiers came face to face with the Huns. There were hundreds of them. Shan Yu and his troops came thundering down the mountain. Li Shang and his troops were vastly outnumbered, but Mulan had an idea. She pointed and fired a cannon at a snowy peak that hung over the mountain. The blast caused an avalanche, leaving the Huns buried in the snow. Mulan saved her troops from the Huns, but now she, Li Shang and Khan were in danger. The avalanche had forced them to the edge of the mountain. They were saved by Mulan's quick thinking and the strength of her friends. Li Shang and the troops were very proud of Mulan, but they were worried when they saw that she was hurt. Shan Yu had grazed Mulan with his sword as she lit the cannon. Oh no, is she going to get found out? And back then, girls and women could not fight. Oh no, they were not allowed. So even though she's done a good thing, she could be in trouble for not being a boy. The troop's doctor treated her wound, but he also discovered her secret. He had no choice but to tell Li Shang and the others that Mulan was really a girl. Shang was angry to learn that he had been tricked. The penalty for such a lie was severe in China, but Li Shang spared Mulan's life. Mulan had saved Shang in battle. Now it was Shang's turn to save Mulan. Shang left her and Khan on the mountain, alone but alive. At the Emperor's palace there was a big celebration. Shang and his troops were being honoured for defeating the Huns. Everyone was happy that China was safe again, but Shang and his troops rode with heavy hearts, as they knew that Mulan was the true hero. On the snowy mountain, though, the Huns were still alive. Mulan saw Shan Yu and his men crawl out from under the snow. She knew that she had to warn Shang and the Emperor. She rode quickly to the palace. Nobody believed Mulan's story. She was back to being just a girl. She tried to warn Li Shang, but he was still angry with her. But they won't listen just because she's a girl. And that's ridiculous. Boys and girls are just as good as each other. They have differences, but we're just as good. The Huns arrived at the palace in the middle of the celebration. They had snuck down from the mountain and hid upon the top of the palace. Everyone was terrified as the Huns grabbed the Emperor and took him up to the balcony of the palace. Mulan knew she had to save him. She told Li Shang and the troops that she had a plan. Mulan told several of the men in the troop to dress like women. They all snuck into the palace. The Huns that were guarding the door were fooled. They liked the attention they were getting from these women, and they let their weapons down. Mulan and her friends attacked. They broke through the palace door and saved the Emperor from the grips of Shan Yu. After the men hustled the Emperor to safety, Mulan found herself trapped on the roof in the palace with Shan Yu. Mushu the dragon was in a nearby tower. The tower held fireworks that were to be used for the victory celebration. He strapped himself to a big rocket and aimed it at Shan Yu. The Huns were defeated. With her quick thinking and the help of her friends, Mulan had saved China and the Emperor. The Emperor was extremely grateful. He gave Mulan a crest of honour to show that what she had done for him, and the sword of Shan Yu to show what she had done for China. Never before had a woman been so honoured in China. Look, she's defeating him with the fireworks. Mulan was thrilled to receive the recognition that the Emperor gave her, but she really wanted to be with her family again. When she returned home, her father was very proud of her. The greatest gift and honour is having you for a daughter, Fa Zhu told Mulan as he gave her a hug. Li Shang was still at the palace. The Emperor could tell that Li Shang was in love with Mulan. He told Li Shang that Mulan was a very special girl and that he should find her and be with her. Li Shang went to Mulan's home. Mulan's mother and grandmother were very impressed by the great warrior. They giggled with excitement as they watched him approach Mulan. Mulan was surprised but very happy to see him. She asked him to stay for dinner, for she had fallen in love with him too. "There isn't a matchmaker in the world," who could have done better. I hope you liked that story about China, and our next book that I'm going to be reading you this week is all about a koala. So we're going to Australia. See you soon. Bye, my darlings.